Mean World Syndrome is a term created by George Gerbner. It describes a phenomenon whereby violence-related content of mass media makes viewers believe that the world is more dangerous than it actually is. The theory states that the heavier the viewing of media, the more fearful we become to the world around us. Because of this, we feel violence and crime has risen and that we must be on our guard at all time. However, statistically, crime rates have actually dropped through the years. So, why is it that 61% of the local news is crime or violence related? Is this to scare us? The news seems to really exploit the negatives. I don't know, this seems intentional. I remember Hurricane Irma like it was yesterday. The anticipation was worse than the actual storm. I felt on edge, panicky, the hairs on the back of my neck permanently standing. FGCU and my job closed all week, so I was home with nothing to do except worry. I put the news on and literally watched it 24/7 for a week straight. My tired, dry eyes would open during the middle of the night and glance over at the bright newslit screen. The warnings grew scarier as our governor pleaded with our city to evacuate. Mandatory evacuation, I kept hearing. People frantically scurrying from store to store, the shelves bare where water and common necessities typically flooded, gas station lines wrapped around the buildings, people shouting and fighting over the last of the supplies. The world seemed to be ending. If you stay, no one will be able to help you, was the final warning I allowed to frighten me. I felt like I gained my first gray hairs during the preparation for the hurricane. Irma finally touched down. She was here. The winds howled, the walls shook. The room filled with darkness as the power faded in and out until finally everyone lost their power altogether. We had survived Irma. The supposed Category 5 hit our beautiful city at a Category 2. While yes, still scary, I felt somewhat cheated. The news had caused so much panic and nothing drastic happened. I was prepared for casualties, lifeboats, surges. It was then when I realized that watching the news as much as I did only caused me to stress. It didn't solve or change anything. It didn't make me any more prepared. Watching the news had only caused me to over-exaggerate things in my mind and be fearful of things that could happen but weren't actually happening. I think as college students, we try to be aware of what is happening in the world around us. What I learned that was most important from all of this was that you should take everything you hear on the news with a grain of salt. Also, we should certainly try to limit how much news we allow ourselves to watch.